Hello friends, welcome to G-Centric. So in this lecture we will continue with our problems. Okay, so and our 135th question which was asked in GATE 2014 electronics branch. So in the circuit shown, the angular frequency, okay, that is omega, at which the Norton's equivalent impedance as seen from terminals B and B dash is purely resistive is. So now concentrate on this question and these words. Purely resistive. What does it mean? If it is purely resistive, it means that it is the combination of resonance. It is a question of resonance. Okay. So when will it behave this whole of this, even inductor is there, capacitor is there, but he says that it behaves like a purely resistive. So it means that the imaginary terms in this case will be equal to 0. So we have to take the resonance. What will happen to this one? It will get short circuited. Okay. So that's why this is a case of question of resonance. So now in resonance, what will be equal? XL will be equal to XC. Okay. So we have to equate imaginary terms equal to 0. Now first, whenever you see the AC circuit, convert the capacitor and inductor to ohmic values. So we will do that one. So this is nothing but minus j omega c, which is value of c is 1 minus j by omega. So we have to find this value only, omega. Here it is j omega L, value of omega L is 0.5. So omega 0.5 ohms. So this is also in ohms. So now we have converted this into ohmic value. Now what you have to find? Z equivalent. What they have asked? Norton's equivalent impedance. So this is basically for the confusion they have asked, but it is the case of resonance, right? So if you know the basic concepts, if you are clear with the basic concepts, then you can easily identify that it is the question for resonance. So how do you calculate Z equivalent? So these two are in series, then parallel with 1 farad. Okay, so 1 plus, it is j 0.5 omega divided by, this is into, since they are in series, these two are in parallel, then will be in series with 1 farad. Okay, so I can write this as 1 plus 0.5 omega, then plus minus j by omega. So I will rationalize this denominator. So it comes out to be 1 plus j 0.5 omega. What is mean by rationalization? Plus sign will be taken to minus sign and you will divide the same. Okay. Then this will be as it is. Now this into this will be imaginary term. So write it as 0.5 omega. Okay. So this into this it will give you real number. So leave as it is. So this will be 1 plus 0.25 omega square. And this is minus 1 by omega equal to 0. So I have only taken imaginary terms and equated them to 0. So when you solve this one, you will get omega is equal to 2 radian per second. Okay. So what was the application in this circuit or in this question? It was the hint that is purely resistive. Okay. So there is no importance of Norton's. Okay. Theorem would not be valid if you are not able to identify what type of circuit it is. Okay. So now coming to this 136 question, what you have to do, they have given an ideal and current and voltage source which are connected in parallel. Okay. And this combination will have Thevenin's equivalent or Norton's equivalent, both A and B, or neither Thevenin's nor Norton's. So we have to find that. So what they have given here? They have said that an ideal current source and voltage source, they are connected in parallel. Okay. So this combination will have what type of equivalent? So now first we will see by Thevenin's first. So if this is V Thevenin, then V will be equal to V Thevenin, same voltage will occur here as well as here. Okay, so VTH will exist, right? When RTH, what you have to do? You have to open the current source and short circuit the voltage source. Since there are no resistors, what it will be? R Thevenin will be equal to 0. Okay, so this is the valid case of Thevenin, right? So Thevenin is valid. Now we will see for the Norton. What we have? Current source and we have got voltage source. So we have to find Norton equivalent. So what we have to do, the terminals, we have to short and find IN. Okay. So now if you see that here I comes, okay, here is I. Now whatever there will be, does it go here or here also? There will be some path also. So now if you see that, if you apply KVL, what should it say? Vi equal to 0. But in this case it is not equal to 0. Okay, you have got some amount of current as well as some amount of voltage, right? So in this case what will happen? Norton's equivalent cannot be applied. Okay, it cannot be applied because KVL fails. Okay, in this case KVL fails, hence what will be the combination? It will be Thevenin's equivalent. Okay, so next coming to the, we will change this question. I will change this question to, here I will write it as 137th question, connected in series. In this case I will write it as series. Now I will take first case to find if it's valid for Thevenin. Okay, this is current source, this is voltage source. Here I have to find V Thevenin. So but for finding V Thevenin, what I have to do? There is no parallel branches, I have to take a KVL. Now when I take the KVL, but I do not know what is the voltage across this one, and current is 0, right? Current is 0 ampere. So what is happening? What does KCL say? Sum of incoming should be equal to outgoing. Since it is open, KCL fails. So when KCL fails, Thevenin cannot be applied to this circuit, right? So similarly, now I can take for the Norton's equivalent. What I have to do? I have to short the terminals for Norton's, right? This is IN. So what is it here? I is equal to IN. Both are same. So what will be RTH? So this one will be short and this one will be open. So RTH will be infinite ohms. Okay, since it is open, it will be infinite. No current will pass through the circuit. So what will happen here? Norton's theorem is valid. Okay, so in this case, when Norton's theorem is valid, what will apply? Thevenin's fail, but Norton works. So in Thevenin, parallel works. Okay, in Norton, series combination of ideal source will work. Okay, so that is a conclusion you can make. Coming to the next question. So this is case number 2, where we have got dependent as well as independent sources. Right? So now it says find Thevenin and Norton's model for that circuit. Okay, you have got dependent source here. You have dependent 4 volt is given, 2 kilo ohm and 3 kilo ohm. So Vx is here. Now Vx is only nothing but equal to V Thevenin. Right? We have got Vx is equal to V Thevenin. Here also same thing, V Thevenin divided by 4000. Right? So how do you calculate V Thevenin? Now if you see here, if it is this positive, let us take this, 0 ampere current is flowing because open circuit. So whatever current is here, it will flow in this direction. It is nothing but Vx by 4000, right? So 0 ampere is here, Vx will be equal to Vth. So now I can write the equation using nodal analysis to find the Vth. So here since it is 0 and 0, what will happen? 0 ampere current, so 0 voltage drop. That is why whatever voltage will here, it will appear over here and this will be Vth. So I can write Vth minus 4 divided by 2 kilo ohms, okay, plus here we have got incoming, so we will ignore that, and here it is divided by 3 equal to Vx upon 4000. 4000. So now this is also 3 kilo ohm. Right, so this VTH I can replace it with Vx as well, or Vx I can replace it with VTH. Okay, so VTH minus 4 plus VTH divided by VTH upon, I can write this as 4K. So this is 2K and 3K. So when you solve this one, it will comes out to be, so the value of VTH is, it comes out to be 8 volts. Okay, so here it is nothing but VTH minus 4 divided by 2K plus VTH, then okay. So since here it is nothing, there is 0 ampere current drop, there won't be any voltage drop here. So what will be the equation? Will be just this one incoming. So I can write VTH by 4K. Okay, 3K I can replace it. So this 2 and this 2 gets cancelled, KK get cancelled. Okay, so it will be 2 VTH minus 8 equal to VTH. So VTH will comes out to be 8 volts. Right? So you have to, there is nothing here, so you can take it as 0. This voltage only will appear here. Right? So VTH minus 4 divided by 2K, then incoming current, that is Vx equal to 4000. Okay, so that 3 zeros are replaced by K. Then you will get VTH as 8 volts. Now we have to find RTH. So to find RTH, there are two methods. Okay, when it is in the case of dependent as well as independent sources. So we have got method 1 to find the RTH. Okay, you can write RTH as voltage, okay, Thevenin's voltage divided by ISC. So this is one method. You have got what is Thevenin's voltage, 8 volt, you have that, but you do not know what is current ISC. So if I take this circuit, redraw it, here it is 4 volt and here I have 3K, this is open. So what is this one? 3 kilo ohm. So this is Vx by 4000 and here I have 2 kilo ohms. Okay, so now I have to find ISC. So to find ISC, I have to short circuit. This is ISC. Okay, you can take in opposite direction also. Okay, this current will be flowing through the circuit. Now this is 0. Since it is short circuit, this is also 0. So when this is 0, okay, so here it is also 0. This will have no value for it. Vx will be equal to 0 because Vx is equal to VTH. This is 0 volt. What will happen here? So this will become, since it is current source, it will become open circuit. So when it is open circuit, the circuit is reduced to in this way. So now directly I can find current ISC. It is nothing but 4 divided by total resistor in the circuit. So 4 by 5 kilo ohm, that is nothing but 4 by 5 milliamperes. So now I know what is for current. I can find RTH. So RTH is equal to, this is 8 volts. So 8 into 5 by 4 kilo ohms, that is 10 power 3. So it comes out to be 10 kilo ohm. Okay, so this is method 1. Now in method 1, okay, so here also you have to not disturb, do not disturb any sources. Okay, you should not disturb any of the independent or dependent sources. Okay, here also dependent sources we have disturbed, that is because no current is flowing through that, or 0 volt appears through this through this branch. Okay, so that is why we have eliminated this branch, but you cannot disturb this active or independent voltage source. So this is method 1. Now coming to method 2. Method 2, you can find RTH. Okay, you can find RTH by adding a battery. Where you have to add a battery, we will see that. Okay, to the terminals you have to add a battery, and here you have to use reduction technique. That is, you have to voltage source you have to short circuit, and current source you have to make open circuit. Okay, so this is method 2. Now we will again redraw this circuit. Okay, here we have got 4 volt, then we have 2 kilo ohm, and I have 3 kilo ohm. Here I have got dependent Vx by 4000, and here it is Vth, right? This is the circuit. So now what we have to do? Add a battery. I'll take this battery as V. Okay, it can be 1 volt battery. So by adding the battery, you will get current in this, right? This current flows here also. This is plus and this is minus, right? So when it flows in this way, here also current is flowing, and this I can write it as, okay, this current I can write it as I plus Vx by 4000, right? I can write in this way because it is also a current. So I have to apply KVL in the outer loop. So before that I have to use the reduction technique, that is, for voltage source I have to short circuit. Okay, so this will be short circuit, right? So now I can apply KVL. So this is V is also nothing but equal to Vx, because Vx is equal to Vth, right? So I can write this as plus Vx, then minus 3k into I, then minus 2 into 2k into this one, I plus Vx by 4000 equal to 0. So now simplify this one, you will get it as Vx minus 5ki, I am directly multiplying this, then you will get minus 2Vx, that is k also is there because of 2 kilo ohm, divided by 4000, so which is equal to 0. So this is, and this gets cancelled, this will be 2k, and this 2k and this 2k get cancelled. So next we will get Vx will be equal to Vx by, you will get the equation as, if I take minus 5ki and I will take this one that side, you will get is nothing but Vx by 2k. But what we want the ratio of V by I. So how do you calculate the ratio of V by I? So when you simplify this one, you will get Vx by 2. This is Vx by 2, then you will get it as minus 5ki equal to 0. So this is Vx by 2 equal to 5ki. Now you want the ratio of Vx by I. So this is nothing but R Thevenin, or you can call R equivalent. Okay, so this is 5k into 2, that is 10 kilo ohms. So if you compare with method 1, also in method 2, both are same. But here extra step was ISC, we could have done directly using method 2. Okay, so we had to calculate one extra step. So you have to see for which method, for which of the circuit you have to apply which method. Okay, so when it comes in the case of dependent and independent sources, okay, which is case 2, you have got 2 ways to calculate R Thevenin. One, by just, you do not have to add a battery and you do not have to disturb the circuit. Okay, you have to calculate using ISC. You have to short this terminal. Okay, so when you short the terminal, check if we have got here 0 volt and 0 volt, so that Vx will be equal to 0. So when Vx is equal to 0, this is current source, it will be open circuit. Then you can take the equivalent voltage by equivalent resistance. Then you will get the Thevenin, R Thevenin, and this is the second method where you are going to add 1 volt battery or just V battery. You can take any value for that one, okay, just or keep it as V. Next you can calculate using this one, deactivating the sources. So for voltage source you will short circuit, and for current source you will open the branch. Okay, so this is about the case 2, and we'll see few more problems in the next video, and also case 3. Okay, thank you.